got a grip, because it's quite realistic. It's not a kind of a realms of fantasy scenario. We're in Sutton Park at the moment. There's reasonably good coverage because we can do these lives, and I'm at most a kilometre away from any edge of the park which gives me an escape route. But we're not always in places like this, and even somewhere we go fairly regularly, the Forest of Dean, is a lot more remote than this. It's a lot harder to navigate, and there's areas that are way less signal. So let's say we're out there and we've been walking all morning, walking middle of the afternoon, and we are now 4 or 5 kilometres from the car. We might still be 2 kilometres from the nearest safe point, but there's no guarantee that that safe point is going to be a truly safe point, and we might not have a good signal on our phones to call in any kind of emergency response. So we're out there and one of us trips and falls. Nothing serious, no life endangering, but as Andy said, twisted ankle. So that 2 or 3 kilometres that we had back to the car, which would have taken us usually about maybe 40 minutes, 50 minutes, that could now become 2 or 3 hours to get back to the car. And if the sun's starting to come down, if you continue to move, you are actually at a greater risk of increasing the injuries that you have or having another problem. So what you might make a choice then is actually the safest thing to do, because it's just a minor twisted ankle, it's just going to slow us down. The best thing to do is have an impromptu camping event. Carry the stuff with you and you go, you know what, we're actually safe enough here. We've got food, we've got water, we've got shelter. The best bet to do is to stay the night out here, and then in the morning when the light comes up, it doesn't matter if it takes us 5 or 6 hours in daylight to cover that distance. It's much safer to have done that than to have tried to cover that distance in the dark. We're not intending to be out here after sunset tonight, but I've still got multiple torches on me. Oh yeah, there's a buzzard up. I've got multiple torches on me. I've got a head torch and I've got an actual torch on me. It's not about expecting those things to happen. It's about bullshit proofing your life if those things happen. And we're out in a park today that's relatively safe. Nowhere that's outdoors is 100% safe, but this is relatively safe. But if we just come out, these are the sort of places we come out to the most regularly. If we're not carrying the gear with us to solve problems in these situations, we're never going to be used to carrying the extra weight that it needs, or we're never going to be used to having that stuff on us when we do need it, when we're up in when you're out somewhere more remotely. What about what's that, Suzu 71? What about the agonising pain the person in is while you're camping overnight? So I carry a first aid kit with me. It's a minimal kit for a place like this. When we go out further, I carry a slightly bigger kit to deal with more serious, significant injuries, including broken legs and twisted ankles and all that kind of thing. But a big part of every first aid kit I have is management of pain. So there's some pain management in there. There's paracetamol and ibuprofen, enough to take a significant dose of either, and multiple doses over the day if you needed that. I carry antihistamines so that if someone has an allergic reaction to something, we can deal with an allergic reaction to it, and that could be pollen, that could be a bite, all sorts of stuff like that. I carry Imodium or loperamide, which is something that will stop you having to go if you have to go, because going in the woods isn't a problem. Going in the woods all the time is a problem, and it means that you're losing a lot of fluid as well. So there's something to stop diarrhea if needed. And I don't at this time of year, but towards summer I will put in some rehydration powders as well, because what that does is it means that if someone is dehydrated, which is very, very common, it's one of the most significant causes of problems when, in my experience in the army and in my experience just generally outdoors, that people get dehydrated really easily, including me. I've done it plenty of times. So actually having something to rehydrate someone is essential as well. But that solves most of the pain problems, and yeah, you're going to be in pain, but I'd rather be in pain and safe than have the potential of running the risk of getting more injury and more pain.